Did you know my twin sister and I can never stay angry at each other for long? My twin sister Fabienne and I, Fabiola, have been close since the very beginning, literally since sharing the same sac in our mother's womb. We were each other's first friend, first playmate, first enemy sometimes too. From what our mom told us, her pregnancy with us was extremely difficult because we constantly favored one side of her belly more than the other. We also kicked her non-stop, and honestly, I am pretty sure some of those kicks were because Fabienne and I were already fighting for space in there. According to my mom, the fighting did not stop after we were born either. As babies, we already used to fight. Well, let me be honest, Fabienne may start the fight, but I would join in eagerly. As we grew older, the little arguments continued. My twin sister absolutely loved instigating small fights and teasing me for fun. And one thing about Fabienne, whether she started the argument or not, she always wanted the last hit, or the final victory. Meanwhile, I, Fabiola, never liked giving up during verbal arguments. I always had to prove my point somehow and have the last word. My family used to tease me constantly and ask if I was secretly studying to become a lawyer because I always came prepared with evidence. One of the funniest things was how our oldest brother would always try to separate us whenever we fought. But somehow, the second he stepped in between us, Fabienne and I would immediately stop fighting each other and both turn against him instead. Don't worry, we really love our brother. As adults, the arguments never completely disappeared. My sister and I argued so often growing up that eventually our family members and friends stopped trying to intervene. They would literally stand there watching us go back and forth like it was a TV show. Then after a while someone would calmly ask, "Are you two done yet?" And instantly, Fabienne and I would burst out laughing. Even our priest had gotten used to our small arguments. The moment we would start going at it, he would often say playfully, "Don't even start." And one thing I have noticed about identical twins, especially after seeing the same thing with my husband and his twin brother, is that no matter how heated things get, twins somehow struggle to stay angry at each other for long. One of the biggest fights of our lives happened during the COVID pandemic while Fabienne and I were living together. The argument actually started between our children, so both of us were already irritated before things even escalated. Fabienne came into my room upset and started talking about the kids' argument. I got annoyed and calmly asked her to leave my room. But that twin of mine looked at me and said she was not going anywhere. Then she went even further and called her daughter Rafaela to bring her phone to her, basically letting me know she planned to stay there comfortably and continue the argument. As my niece came toward her mother with the phone, I reached out to stop her from handing it over. But Fabienne thought I had hit Rafaela. And that is when all hell broke loose. She hit me. I hit her back. Then suddenly we were both going back and forth hitting each other, scratching each other, yelling, and completely losing our minds. My daughter Naima got scared and ran to call my husband. When my husband came in, he immediately tried separating us. But the problem was, Fabienne kept charging back at me. And honestly, I was not about to let it go either. Since Fabienne was closer to the door entrance, my poor husband had to keep physically pulling Fabienne away and moving her to the other side of the room over and over again. Later, I found out Fabienne kept coming back at me because she thought my husband was taking my side, when in reality he was only grabbing her because she was the one charging at me and was closest to him. Eventually the fight finally stopped. And this is the part that still makes everybody laugh. 5 minutes later, 5 minutes. I was sitting in Fabienne's room on her bed, and both of us were laughing uncontrollably trying to remember what even started the fight in the first place. We were literally sitting there telling each other, "You know we are going to be laughing about this fight when we are old." A few moments later, my husband walked past the room, stopped at the doorway, looked inside, and said, 5 minutes. 5 minutes and you two are already best friends again. This is crazy. Fabienne and I burst out laughing even harder. Later, when we told our family and friends about the fight, almost everybody asked the exact same question: did anybody record it? I would have paid money to watch that fight. And honestly, as crazy as it sounds, that fight and everything that happened afterward became one of the funniest and most unforgettable memories of being a twin. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure you check out our other stories on our YouTube channel.